Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. How's it going? It's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night, Tuesday, the 7th of June. Yes, the weather's crap. There hasn't been any sign whatsoever. Usually by this time of the year in England, we've had at least a bit of a heat wave. A heat wave ish sort of thing. There hasn't been any sign of anything like that. So I'm still wearing the jumper. Okay. Big Cyril, nice to hear from you. Sean Moore, Leeds, Dutch Farang, Yogi Bear, Cats and Good Coffee, Sean Young. Greetings, Ed. Another hour of late night entertainment. Probably go on a bit longer than that. Depends what happens. Devil's Den, nice to see you on a Tuesday, Eddie. Nice to hear from you too, mate. Eugene Vincent, late night with the Sweeney. Lovely jubbly. Thanks for that, mate. Pinball. Evening, Ed. Hope your flight will be okay. Well, it's only a couple of weeks to go. Connor Patterson, good evening. PBO, Sparky Ed. Okay, guys. Nice to hear from you all. Dutch Farang. Yeah, nice to hear from you all, guys. Let me just, wipe some muck off the screen there, Okay, that's a terrible way of describing myself. Yes, I'm worried. 2 weeks to go before my flight leaves from London to Bucharest. I'm out there for a month, yes, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. I've done a fair bit of research. I've read up on Romania. I've watched videos. My enthusiasm for going to Romania is sky high. It really, really is. I can't wait. It's been 5 weeks since I left Thailand. 2 weeks more, and I should be in Romania. But I'm worried. I'm seeing these reports on the news, these bloody awful reports of airport queues, flight cancellations, people having to stay in airport hotels for days on end. Who the hell wants to do that? Misery. And also being unable to get back as well. I heard of a family who've been stuck in Turkey for the last 3 days. It's having to spend 3 days extra on a holiday. What's happening? What the hell is happening? What's happening? Popcorn, nice to hear from you, Popcorn. Evening, I hope things sorted out before you travel. I hope they will. I think, and maybe this is wishful thinking, but I think that one thing in my favour is the fact that I am going outside of school holidays. It seems to be mainly families with packages. Maybe this is me wishful thinking, but I'm going in the second half of June, a couple of weeks' time. And that will be term time. People, kids will be in school. Families, people in Britain don't go on holidays. I've said this before, but there's strict penalties for their fines for families who take children on holiday during school time. So I don't think there'll be any of that. There's no bank holiday. When I'm going, it's a fairly reasonable time. So I think I'll be all right. But maybe it's just wishful thinking on my part. Who's this? Bruce Lee. This show does beat news at 10. Hi, yeah. Okay. Oh, apologies to that guy who just messaged me to say he was listening through his headphones and I'd done the Bruce Lee scream. Apologies for that. Okay. Up to me. Hi, Ed and boys from loving Pattaya. Oh, good for you, mate. I hope you're having a great time there, mate. I'm sure you are. Jeff Traveller. Good evening, Ed. Good evening to you as well. Good evening to you as well. Gary Hughes. Nice to hear from you, Gary. Nice to hear from you. Cats and Good Coffee. Okay. David Coleman. Hi, Eddie. Wow, you would not believe the rain in Toronto. Really? Well, I imagine it's summer then. Well, it's supposed to be summer here now, or I think now it's on the border between spring and summer. It's crap. Every day is it's fairly abysmal. Usually by this time of year, we have had at least a week's heat wave. At least a week's heat wave. Sometimes there's been nothing like that. Absolutely nothing. I think all the good weather will probably come when I'm leaving the country. This is a Carlsberg export, by the way. Nice. I don't like the ordinary Carlsberg, but the export, very, very good. Very nice. Nice to hear from you, David, anyway. Sean Griffiths, good evening to you, mate. Good evening to you. Like I say, it's Tuesday night, isn't it? It's Tuesday night. It's 10 o'clock. What the hell's happening? There's a load of crap, doom and gloom on the TV. All the news that you've heard loads of times before. Yummy, lovely stuff. Where do I got that from? Everything will work out as it should. Ed. Okay, I hope so. Anyway, I hope so. Up to me. Hi, Ed, and lads and potato. You're having a blast out. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. You either like a meal or you don't. Hi, Eddie. Hello. Okay, nice to hear from you. Delayed Dave. I think things will settle in the next couple of weeks, Eddie. Fingers crossed for you. Right, the airline that I'm going with. It's this bloody EasyJet. I'm not going with EasyJet, but the airline that I'm going with, they have cancelled a couple of flights, but not many. It's EasyJet that seems to be the problem. They seem to be, I was looking at EasyJet site today, and they seem to be the ones that are having the mega cancellations. They cancel a lot from Gatwick. A lot of these flights are going to, but surprising amount of them are going to Amsterdam, and obviously Spain, a more popular destination. I think an airport where there's been a lot of cancellations has been Bristol Airport. And the reason for all this, of course, is that, now that the pandemic is over, let's hope that it's over. People are rushing to take holidays. There's been a Queen's Jubilee, bank holiday. People want to live. I still can't get my head around that one. They keep saying on the news, a busy weekend, people are getting flights, Queen's Jubilee. Are they leaving the country because of the Queen's Jubilee or something? I still can't figure that one out. But like I said, when I'm going in a couple of weeks' time, there's no bank holidays. Kids will be at school, so they won't be going on holiday. So families won't be there at the airports. There's not really much happening at that particular time. So I'm just hoping that everything's going to be all right. I'm hoping so anyway. Okay, we've just done that one anyway. Paul Hoskin, get a rain, Ed. Get a rain. Okay, whatever. Nice to hear from you, Paul. Sean Griffiths, be positive. You will go to Romania. Funnily enough, out of all the news reports that I've heard, flights cancellation and all this kind of stuff, and airport queues and all the other kind of stuff, the one name that I haven't heard mentioned once is Romania. I haven't heard of anything going to Romania being cancelled. The airline that I'm going to Romania with has cancelled a few flights going other places, but flights to Bucharest hasn't been mentioned at all. So maybe there's not that many people going to Bucharest at that particular time. So maybe I could be all right. I don't know. Gaz 77, hi Eddie. Asda wouldn't let me in the shop today because I only had a pair of dirty knickers on. Well, wear clean ones next time and they'll let you in. Okay. Connor Patterson, try not to worry, Eddie. It is happening, but the media over-exaggerates everything as always. As always. Okay, it is happening. David Coleman, we're all looking forward to your trip. Show us the hairy vampires. Well, I'd love to see them. Isaac, will you be? Oh, good almighty. Kipax, good evening, Eddie. Good evening to you, Kipax. El Terrifico, you better go to the airport now, Eddie. This is the bizarre thing. There's massive queues, right? So they're telling you, don't come to the airport too early because it's causing massive queues. And yet, if there's going to be a massive queue, haven't you got to get to the airport early in order to make sure that you get your flight? Oh, it's all bloody bizarre. It's all bizarre. Okay, I think I've. Lewis C. Look at airport departures for comparable flights. The news is in the news because this is all due to a staff shortage. People lost their jobs during the pandemic, haven't regained their jobs. Loads of people all of a sudden want to go on holiday again. They can't cope with it. The baggage. It's a good job that I'm not taking any suitcase with me. And I will check in online before I head there. Hopefully that means I can avoid the queues. There's still going to be a security queue or something along the way. Asteroids, Amor Fatty, love your fate, whatever it may be, because you never know when something is really bad or good. What you might see as bad luck could be saving you from a tragic event. We just yeah, that's it. They might cancel the flight, and that flight might have been the one that crashed. Yeah, thanks for that thought. Charles Brown, hi, a friend of mine texted me last night from Birmingham Airport, expected to fly 7 a.m., but had to wait until 9 p.m. to board. Gee, 14 hours delay. Oh my, that is atrocious. That would drive me absolutely bloody crazy. That would, oh my God, I couldn't do that. Cats and Good Coffee. The Guardian about flight cancellations. The underlying cause is a lack of staff. Airlines and airports laid off thousands of employees when travel grounds are halted and the Antarctic restrictions. Yeah, that's about it, isn't it? That's about it. McLaren F1 race. Mr. Steady Eddie, what's up, dude? Yeah, I'm doing fine. Nice to hear from you, mate. Okay, Kipper, shit summer so far. Yeah, absolutely crap. I'm really looking forward to going to Romania. I am so looking forward to spending a month in Romania, starting and finishing in Bucharest, which I've watched videos. I've watched some really nice videos that people have done at Bucharest, and it looks like a good place. And some of the, I'm not so sure that whether those beach resorts are anything to rave about. I've seen enough beach resorts. I'm not sure the beach resorts on the Black Sea are really that good, but I'll check them out anyway. Constantine, I'll check that out. And Transylvania and a few of those little medieval. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it, and that's why, I'm dreading getting that email from the airline saying, "Sorry to tell you this, Mr. Sweeney, but your flight isn't going to be there when you think it's going to be there." For Christ's sake. Ultimately, only has 1 hour's rain in Pattaya in 1 week. It's 90. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Diane. Pinball flights to Eastern Europe. Yeah. This is better. This is better. Pinball flights to Eastern Europe seem to be fine at present. It's mainly flights to from holiday researchers. That's better. That's better. That's what I like to hear. Let's see a minute. Okay. Now let me just I was going to go through a few more of the. Jeff Traveller, Love Island isn't much cop this year. Never watched it. Never watched it. Who's this? Somebody in the chat call. Who flung dung? Hi Ed. Hello. Who flung dung? Up to me. Oh, my flight is. Up to me. Oh, my flight is go. You shouldn't say that. I'd love to go to Scotland. I'd love to see the Highlands and the islands and the lochs. I keep meaning to do that. I really keep meaning to do that. I'm really. Geez, I've fallen behind with this. It's gone over 100. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Patriots just one. Traveling seems like first world privilege. Most people in third world never leave their village. So traveling, yeah, okay, I suppose so. I mean, we're lucky to be able to do what we do and go where we want to go. What's this? Dutch Varang 10 in chat. Well, I can see 101 personally. So I don't know what you're looking at. David Coleman, El Terrifico. Is it out now? I'm inside. Okay. Neil Fleet. Nice to hear from you, Neil. Nice to hear from you. Bottle baby, yeah, I suppose that's it, isn't it? Better to be cancelled than stranded. I suppose I don't want to be stranded anywhere. I don't want to be stranded anywhere. Kipak, stop worrying. Everything will be fine. All that's I've booked up to now is my return flight at the amazing super duper bargain price of £36.50. That is £36.50 return from a London airport to Bucharest. That's amazing. So at that price, I'm not really going to worry. I have booked my first 4 nights in a hotel in Bucharest. which everything cancelled. I've still got time to I don't want to cancel. I don't like cancelling nothing. I like to know where. I want to know that I'm going to be on that flight in a couple of weeks' time. I'm going to be landing in Bucharest. I'm really looking forward to it. Cats and good coffee. Apparently, what is causing the chaos is too many Karens flying to Turkey, Ghana, Senegal and Dominican Republic at once. That's it. It's the Wongas. It's the Wongas who are causing all of this. All these bloody 20-stone Karens who are after their young Gambian gigolo boyfriends with the big, with the big ideas. Yeah, okay. Dutch Farang in Holland, you're not allowed to come more than 4. Dutch Farang in Holland, you're not allowed to come more than 4 hours early. Okay, all right, fine. Sorry, I read something smutty into that. Sorry. Gas 77. I've got no interest in finding a job. I can't be bothered to go to work as I start feeling sick when someone mentions work to me. You lazy. Life of Rays. I was in Manchester Airport yesterday, back from Thailand. I've seen 3 cancelled flights, mainly Spain. Okay, well, I'm glad that I'm not going to Spain. Stuart Marston. Evening, Ed. I'm flying EasyJet to Santorini in a couple of weeks. Where's Santorini? Where is that? Is that Spain? Is that in a couple of weeks? Fingers crossed it's going ahead. Not cancelled yet. On a positive note, just booked my flights with Eva for December to Thailand. Okay, that's great. That sounds good. Now that sounds good. That sounds really, really good. Good luck. Good luck to you, mate. Gary Hughes, Ed, you're an experienced traveller. You'll be fine, mate. Just breathe. Okay, fine. Thanks for that. Cats and good coffee. Happy ending in Romania. James, good evening, Ed. I look forward to hearing about your trip when you get back. Make sure you tell us about those Romanian lovelies, okay? I'm just hoping that all the Romanian lovelies haven't left Romania by now to go and work in the Amsterdam and all those other places. David Coleman, can I pull a bed on my first night in London? I want to drink at the 10 bells, ripper time. Well, pull a bed in London. Pull a bed in. What are you going to get in London? Are you going to get an old slapper, or are you going to get something who's going to charge you the bloody for? Or probably both, or whatever. I don't think London's on the menu for me somehow. Yogi Bear, I don't know which airport you're going to and when, but check you're not leaving on days of the rails. Oh God! Oh God! Oh my! That's all I need, isn't it? I can't even get to the airport now. Ed, I don't know which airport you're going to from or where, but check you're not leaving on days of the rail strikes. Coaches could be full on them days. Can it get any worse? Can it get any worse? Okay. Okay, Johnny Bay. Hi, Ed. Always a pleasure to see you, pal. I'm sure you'll get there. Don't you know how much a beta is in Romania? I'm sure you've looked that up. Well, I've watched videos and it looks very, very good. It looks very, very good. Okay, let's see. So listen, I'm just gonna read a couple of things. Where the hell is my phone? Where did I put that? Where did I put that? Bloody, I've lost my phone. There it is. There. Okay, I'm just gonna read. These are people venting their frustration, and I feel sorry. I really feel for them, and I hope it isn't me. I just hope it isn't me. Okay, I hope it isn't me. Right. I'm going to leave that one on the screen just to let so that I'll know where I am. Patriots, do you plan to do board hop to any Romania's neighbour countries, Moldova, Serbia, or Bulgaria? You could take bus trip. I'm pretty sure for a month. There's plenty going on in Romania. There's quite a lot to that country. I mean, it's a reasonably big country. There's probably plenty going on there in Romania right now. But really, I think I have a return ticket from Romania, from Bucharest. I don't want to cram in too much, whatever. I'd only go to those other countries if I needed to get a return flight from one of those for any reason. But I've been to Bulgaria before, good country. Okay, so I just want to read out. I mean, I feel really sorry for these people. I really, really do. I really, really, really do. I really do. This is just some of these Twitter posts. They come from that, Twitter or Twitter or whatever they are. I don't use it. But these are these poor bastards being stranded at airports and all of this, okay? So what do we got here? Yeah, we got somebody called Brad, yes. Well, well done to EasyJet. 2 cancelled flights back to Inverness from Gatwick. Was meant to be back Sunday evening for work on Monday, but no, here I am, £400 down in a random hotel at Heathrow Airport. Also, I don't miss any more work and catch the BA flight from London Heathrow tomorrow. Yeah, he doesn't sound too happy, does he? What's this other one here? Georgia was due to arrive at Gatwick Airport at 6:55 a.m. EasyJet, and I'm sat here in baggage claims with still no bags. A delay taking off, another delay getting staff to escort us from plane to terminal, almost 3 hours in totally with 4 very patient yet fed up children. Oh my God! Don't you just love travel? Oh well. So let's see. Let's get another one. There's a couple of these ones that are there. Where am I now? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay, who's this? I don't know the name of this person. It's a woman. EasyJet, our flight to Milan to Gatwick was cancelled at 3 a.m. this morning. The next flight available was for tomorrow. The website said they're unable to find a hotel, so instead we must book ourselves a reasonably priced hotel. What is exactly reasonably priced in Milan? I've been to Italy, in the days when they had the Italian lira. I can only imagine what a reasonably priced hotel in Milan is going to cost. Probably a bloody arm and a leg. Okay, Martin Duffy, Gatwick Airport. Any idea when the luggage from the Glasgow EasyJet flight will be released to baggage claim number 11? Been waiting for over 30 minutes and have a connecting flight. Oh my God, what a pain. What a pain. Who's this one? EasyJet. What is going on? 8:05 from Gatwick to CDG. Been sitting on a plane for 45 minutes, no movement. Not a single word being said by cabin crew. Now going to miss connection in Paris. Oh, I hate this. I feel for these people because I'm just bloody hoping that it's not going to be me. I really, really, really can do without this. Paul Belcher, EasyJet, you delayed my Berlin Airport, Gatwick Airport flight for 3 hours late last night, then cancelled it after check-in. No reason, no ground staff, no alternative EasyJet flights today. Please advise on compensation for this considerable inconvenience and lack of service. These all sound very, very angry, these people, and rightly so, rightly so. Just a couple more here. EasyJet, you cancelled my flight from Bastia to Gatwick and haven't another one scheduled until Saturday. How are you going to help? Your online chat is down. So you can't even bloody speak to people when you need to. What's the point of having an online chat if you can't even use it? And here, Alan's very angry. Alan, whoever Alan is, he's very angry. And these all seem to be EasyJet, don't they? Alan, EasyJet press, it's crazy. No help from staff as flights cancelled yesterday to the Isle of Man from Gatwick Airport. Only being told, go online. When you do, there is no help at all. No hotel vouchers to be had. All payment needs to come out of your own pocket. Total shit. Alan is very, very angry. And I don't blame him because I would be. I don't want. Why does life have to be? I don't want any of this crap. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. I like my life to run like clockwork. I pay my money, and I like my life to run like clockwork. I don't want to be sitting on bloody airplanes that are sitting on the runway for 3 hours. I don't want any of that bollocks. Oh Jesus! Here we go. I hope. Oh, I feel for those people. I really do. Oh. Let me see now. Okay. Now I know that I've fallen behind. Okay, Devil's Den. Eddie, your flight Stansted to Bucharest has only been delayed once in the last 13 days, and that was 1 hour. Okay. Well, I hope somebody mentioned that, somebody mentioned that, Eastern European flights are all right. Let's just hope it stays that way. Influx tongue. Lost my job. We need cheering up, don't we? Lost my job today in a massage therapist. My boss said I was rubbing people up the wrong way. Like it. Okay. Just for my ears, you have your headphones in. Okay, McLaren F1 race. Ed, important issue. Will Little Ed be able to enter another country after his antics in Thailand? Oh, yeah, okay, fine. David Coleman, Eddie, you let me down. Okay. It wouldn't be the first bit I've let down. Chaz Brown, Ed, just get a horse to the airport, more reliable. Okay. what, Mr. Ed? I'll get Mr. Ed. I'll take up Red's rum. Gaz77, can you give me your phone number, Ed? But why do you want to tell me about your granny's soiled knickers or something? Is that what you want? Is it? David Heisenberg lookalike. Hi, Eddie, and all evening. Okay, thank you. Donald Buto, future live stream. Steady Eddie meets the brides of Dracula. Romanian gypsy woman. Rumpy bumpy. Okay. There's a wonderful video which I often watch because I love Ennio Morricone music. Patricia Janovka, I think she's from Slovakia. She's a young girl, but she sings she's just like an opera singer, and she won an award. And she's on the stage. She's on the stage singing. Well, not singing she's doing the vocals for Ennio Morricone's title theme from Once Upon a Time in the West, and it's one of my favorite. I watch it so much. She's wonderful. This girl, wonderful voice. But you notice in the background, it's a beauty contest, and all these beautiful young ladies are there in the background, and one of them starts laughing at her a bit. And really, as this very, very talented young female is doing the vocals to a wonderful Ennio Morricone piece of music. You think you're on her side. You think all these girls, they may be better look, but they're all talentless. And if you actually look in the comments, people slag down these beautiful girls in these gowns. They say, while this talented young female is given a performance of her life, they're all standing around like the brides of Dracula. Go and check out that video. If you like Ennio Morricone, you can see Patricia Janovka. She's a young girl with a wonderful voice, and she does Ennio Morricone's title theme from Once Upon a Time in the West. Strange thoughts go through your head when you're doing a live stream. Dutch Farang, are you going to read out? I'm trying to, mate, but it's there's quite a lot of, and there's 115 people in the chat now. Very, very nice to have you. Thanks for everybody coming along. Cats and good coffee. It'll be interesting to see Eddie with Vampire Fang streaming from Transylvania. That is the plan. Yes, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. David Coleman, I guess I will need, apparently, one of the things I have heard from a few people from a couple of videos that apparently the internet in Romania is very, very, very good. It's quite exceptional. We'll see. I'm hoping to do some outdoor live streams. Get a Romanian SIM card. What was that again? David Coleman, I guess I will need to spend more money in London to find a nice bed. So back to Cuba, I think, to be honest with you, if it's women that you're after, I think you'll have more luck in Cuba or Thailand than you will in London. Okay, Bernard Purcell, hi Ed, good tonight, okay. Lewis C, David Coleman, where do you find girls in Cuba? Well, I can answer that one. They find you. Don't worry about that. Yeah, you hit the town. You hit the town as a single man in Havana, and it won't be long before they're smooching up next to you, and they, rubbing places which you're not often, rubbed up in. Oh, lovely ladies. David Coleman. Toronto airport is terrible. Lives are so it's not just Britain. It's not just Britain. It's a disaster. Oh God, God, I don't want any disasters. McLaren F1 race. Why go to Paris? Why go to Paris? I don't know. I went to Paris years ago. The Eiffel Tower is one of the world's sights that does not disappoint. I climbed the steps of the Eiffel Tower to the second level, which is probably still a significant height, and it's wonderful. It's one of those world sights that really, really, really lives up to expectations. Wonderful. Okay. Paul Hoskin, all good in the Weight Watchers Club with all the 20-stone ladies. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Yogi Bear, the RMT rail union strikes. Thanks for telling me that anyway. Yogi Bear, the RMT rail union strikes will be taking place on June the 21st. Sorry, 21st, 22nd, and 25th. That's the day. Well, thanks for telling me that anyway, mate. Maybe I might just avoid those. Oh, well. Anything else that can go wrong? Anything else? Stuart Marsden all seems to be from Gatwick, Heathrow, Birmingham, and Manchester having the problems. Okay. Let me see now. Michael Genese. I flew Sydney from Edinburgh with Qatar Airlines. Absolutely great airlines. Some of those Middle Eastern airlines are bloody good. They are good. I'll give them the due there. Sean Griffiths, boycott EasyJet. We should. EasyJet seems to be the ones that are having problems. I was looking beyond Romania. I was looking at other things. Other flights, maybe a couple of months beyond that. And as soon as I see an EasyJet, I thought, no, thank you. Let's see. Jeff Traveller, people think there are vampires in Romania, but I haven't seen one since 1645. Good for you. I bet it was quite memorable. I do believe in fairies. I'm taking a vow of sobriety until I hear those safely on his Romanian flight. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Touch Farang, as you're going to die soon, yeah. Do you mean Ed? Do you mean I'm going to die? Oh, yeah, whatever. Patriots just won. Cancelling flights at the last minute is bad if your airport is far away. If it's in the same city, it's not that bad then. Well, I have not booked my journey to the airport yet. I haven't booked it simply because I don't trust flights. I mean, I booked my flight 3 weeks ago, which is 5 weeks in advance. And that's a long time for flights, to send you the email that you don't want to get, the flight's being cancelled. So all I've booked is the flight, and I've booked my first 4 nights. I haven't paid for it yet, but I've booked my first 4 nights in a hotel in Bucharest. So I haven't been brave enough to book the transport to the with the whatever. Let's see. David Coleman, Lewis C. Girls all over the place in Cuba. I wait a day and make friends with a guy at my hotel. Give him $5, and he will find you the one that you like. You don't do that, do you? You don't do that, do you? I don't. I'll approach the, if I meet girls, I want to talk to the girl. I don't want to talk to some shady guy. Sorry about that, mate. Lewis Bellinger, we're all angry at the last 2 years taken away from us and stuck in no man's land under house arrest. Well, Farang Travels, nice to hear from you. Bottle Baby, well, think for each of the positive. You flying direct with no checked baggage, sure flight, yeah. Well, after a lengthy flight from Thailand, I mean, those a 3 1/4 flight to Bucharest. I mean, I'd say that is I'd say that's absolutely fine. 3 1/4 flight, that's nothing. That's a doddle. Touch Eddie made the comments on Twitter. Yeah, oh well, yeah. Yeah, no, I feel sorry for those people. McLaren F1 race. Ed, please not another stream tomorrow night. My bloody liver cannot cope with this. I will be doing the stream on the other channel. The other channel tomorrow night. Well, what the hell else is on? What? I mean, what else is on? I mean, you only got, you've got that bloody talk radio and there's little board and stuff. I mean, I can tell you if you want to know what you're missing on the TV right now, you're probably missing things like, nothing really. Sky News telling you about, the Prime Minister and what we talked about last night and all that bollocks. Bulldog, Etty pal, just changed my flight for Friday, going to Manila. Be very careful. Not happy. Okay, good luck for you, mate. Good luck to you, mate. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Okay, I want to put that one on there. Cats are good coffee. I know a few bar owners in Spain, and they told me they intentionally hired Romanian girls as waitresses because they confirmed that attract customers more than any other kind of. Well, my experience with Romanian girls, and I've never been to Romania yet, but my experience with it is that they have got wonderful personalities. They are beautiful, and they have wonderful personalities, and you can't go. I haven't gone wrong with them. Bottle baby, funny how overnight all these delays developed, and only in first world airports. Well, it's a very, very strange time, isn't it? Dad John, Eddie, you should dress up as Count Dracula and do a live with the subs. I think that'll be fun, huh? I think that will be fun. Bottle baby, my airfare has officially doubled. Oh God Almighty! It's relevant. More bad news. Eugene Vincent, Ecstasy of Gold, is another one of Morricone's masterpiece. That's one. That's from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's when their Tucko, Eli Wallach, is racing around the cemetery trying to find the grave with the gold in it. I believe, who was it? Was it Metallica who did a cover version of that? They did a really good version of Ecstasy of Gold. Really good stuff. Yogi Bear, Bottle Baby airports in the UK are private companies. In Thailand, those places, they're state run. So they didn't lack staff. Patriotus One, give tuk-tuk driver $10 in Cambodia and he will find you a lady. Yeah, but would you do that? I wouldn't. He will find you a lady. Well, what kind of ladies is he going to find? I wouldn't trust a bloody tuk-tuk. I've got respect for the guys. They've got to make a living. But, when you get into a tuk-tuk in Cambodia, you want a tuk-tuk to go from A to B, and they say, lady, massage, boom, boom. And I would say, no, I don't want any of those things. I want you to take me from A to B. That's what I want. I'll find my own lady. Oh, thank you. No, I wouldn't trust them. Wouldn't do that. But you might have had fun doing that, but it's just not the way that I would choose to do things. Kipax just started raining in Manchester again. Oh, well, I'm in the south. I was the south of England, the glorious south of England, and it's raining here. Jolly Fox. Eddie, did it rain a lot in Thailand during February? I'll tell you what, during the months of January and February, which should be gloriously sunny months in Thailand, there was probably more rain than what you would normally get at that time of year. Well, it wasn't. It would get you down if you were there for a couple of weeks. Because sometimes the rain seemed to go on for. I think there was one period when it rained every day for a week at that particular time. But it didn't bother me because I was out there for quite a while anyway. But there was more rain then than what you would normally get at that time of year. McLaren F1 race. My missus went to London to sort out her Thai passport. And I had to wait 2 hours for the taxi from Paddington Station as the tubes were on strike yesterday. I worked, thank God. Oh, my God. It's all doom and gloom. I mean, we should be happy now. The pandemic's coming to an end now. We're all free. And yet look at all the problems that we're all having. Is there ever going to be a time when we're not moaning about anything? Langtang, USA. Where are you going to fly to, baby? I'm going to fly from London to Bucharest. David Kane, Black Rain with Michael Douglas is on a great film. Is it really? Is that a Ridley Scott movie? Chaz Brown. Keep doing the live streams each night out there. Great and I look forward to it. Thank you, Chaz. I really appreciate that. Very nice. Very nice, you'd say. Popcorn. Romania doesn't use the euro like many other European countries. Instead, it uses its own curry, the Romanian leu or rom. Well, a lot of those countries, you don't use the... I mean, good for them because once they started using the euro, everything went up in price, didn't it? The ones who I find complain most about this are Italians. You know, I went to Italy when they had the lira, and it was a good value country. And when they got Italy's become quite notoriously expensive now. And the ones who really, I've heard complain about more than any are the Italians. They said as soon as they got that bloody euro, I mean, for them, the locals who live in that country, everything went more expensive. So thankfully, yeah, Romania's still got its own currency, and I've heard that it's a good value place. David Coleman, I stayed at a nice hotel in Havana. I kind of had to give the guy at the desk the $5 to keep him happy, to have the girl stay all night. Yeah, okay. Well, that sounds reasonably enough. That sounds reasonably enough. Butch Farang, I wish you had OnlyFans. Really, with me in it, and what kind of dirty, perverted, degenerate would want to see me romp my flabby, hairy, sweaty body protruding out of the laptop? Well, you really wouldn't want to see that. Up to me. The older I get, the harder I find flying in council class. Wish I had the money for council class. Oh, I like it for the business class ticket, but it's 3,200 from Glasgow to Bangkok return. Oh my God! Oh my, 3,200. Jesus God! No, I think I'll stick to council class, to be honest with you. John Mitch, what are the chances of a 65-year-old male scoring with a Romanian girl in the 20s? I don't want a girl necessarily want a girl in the 20s in terms of girlfriend and I just want a bit of fun. I'm not really going to Romania for that. I'm going there because it's probably a fantastic country with a lot of culture and all that, and it's a cheap flight, and I've heard that it's a good value country. If you want to meet Romanian girls, you meet them places like Berlin and Amsterdam. That's the best place to meet them. I'm not really out to score with a Romanian. I'm a traveller, and the reason I'm going there is because I like travel. Having said that, it would be nice to score with a Romanian girl in the 20s. Wouldn't say no, but I'm not expecting miracles. Let's see. David Hayes may look like. Sorry, I will not be on tomorrow night. So I have to go to sleep early. As on Thursday morning, I'm on day shift at Gatwick Airport on my bus taking people to the holidays, hopefully in the car park. Good for you, mate. Good for you anyway, mate. Nice to see someone's working. Cats and Good Coffee. Steady Eddie Live agreed that the Romanian ladies are pretty, but is there anything specifically interesting for men in Romania, like soapy massage salons or something? If I was only obsessed by soapy massages, I'd probably just keep going to Thailand. I like going to other countries because I find other countries, interesting, and I travel and I like food and I like culture. And I haven't been to Romania, so it's another one to tick off on my bucket list. Patriot just won. Rich Ukrainian gentlemen ring the bell all night in non-pen bars. Good for them, mate. Yeah, it's a positive one. Bob Bus Bob, we are all going to die. Absolutely. I agree, mate. Devil's Den. Euro was the biggest rip-off ever. Thank God we never got mugged off with it. I know. I mean, this thing is, I don't want to get into all this breakfast. I almost said breakfast stuff, didn't I? I mean, Brexit. I don't want to get into all of that. But the fact is, it was a strange club. We were never actually fully part of the European Union, really, in terms of having the euro. Excuse me, but I always thought that when you join a club which has a certain amount of members, doesn't every member of that club have to abide by the same rules? I mean, it seems strange that some of those European countries had the euro and we didn't have it, and some others don't have it. It seems strange relationship. Let's see. McLaren F1 race. I buy mesh, rolls of mesh from Italy. It's utter nightmare. And they upped the price 200% from 2019. Steel prices. Oh my God. Up to me. The soapy massages are back open in Pattaya. You know, I've never had a soapy massage in Pattaya. I kind of know where they are, but I've heard they're not as good as the ones that have, in Bangkok. So I never actually got round to having one. Tell us more. Are they any good? Are they any good? Farang Travels, Romanian girls pretty. Think of the cheeky girls. Oh, I love this. I can't remember what they sang, but they sure were. Yeah, they're very, very lean, Roman, like Bulgarian girls. Very, very, very lean. Not not amounts of fat in them. The cheeky girls. They had a couple of Romanian girls, with showing lots of flesh and lovely, 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 lovely. Cats and Good Coffee, Steady Eddie Live. Have you ever visited Croatia? As far as I know, it's cheap. Weather is good. They have a beach, and the ladies are pretty. I've never actually got. There's quite a few countries in that region which I never got round to. One of them is Romania. I've never been to Croatia or what's the other one? Montenegro and Albania. There's still plenty to explore in that part of the world. Plenty to explore. In UK. In UK, hiya, when you fly, have you got to wear that nappy again on the plane? If so, it's being washed. It's still there. That is a washable face mask that you're talking about there. Oh, hopefully I won't have to wear anything like that again. David Coleman, I want to go to Thailand just for the soapy massages. Wonderful stuff. Paige just one. The Eastern Europe have a bad reputation of the ladies, money scams, and someone putting something to drink. But it could have changed. I'll tell you what. I think the downside of going looking for girls in Eastern Europe, certainly in places like Krakow and other places, and even Central Europe, some of the German cities, is that they have that tourist. They seem to have a tourist trap culture. Trying to get you into a strip show or whatever, and you'll be robbed blind. They'll rob you blind, they will. So I'll be very, very careful. Lewis C, we're the cheeky girls. One married to a Lib MP. Good for him. He's obviously got excellent taste. Up to me, the soapies in Pattaya are great fun. Okay, I bet they are. So, of course, with the chat. Yummy, lovely stuff. Ed, have you joined the Mile High Club? I don't like aeroplanes. I don't mind being on them, but I'm not in the mood to need to go shagging in the toilet. Not for me. So let me see. Anyone else? In UK, hi Ed. I had a lovely soapy on your favourite Soy 11. Well worth it. Apart from a bottle of water cost me 100 baht. It's Soy 11. So is there a soap? I didn't actually know there was one there. Well, thanks for telling me. That. Mark Ollig, nice to hear from you, Mark. How's it going? Hey, Eddie, I made it to the live stream. Good for you, mate. I hope all's well today anyway. Kipax, you need food, Eddie. Let me tell you something. I've got Melton Mowbray pork pie here. I feel forgotten. It's been ages since you tasted me on the stream. It's too cold to be eating pork pies. I mean, they're cold in this kind of weather because it doesn't feel like summer yet. You want something a bit warm. I would love some pork pies. Do you know something? I mean, I know like a few weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, when I left Thailand, I said I'm going to go back to England and I'm going to go on a diet and exercise and whatever. Well, it hasn't gone very, very well. Not up to now. But I'm trying. What it is, I've had the laziest 5 weeks of my entire life. I seem to be on the laptop a lot, doing things. Very, very little exercise. Very, very little exercise. I'm eating too much. I certainly haven't lost my appetite. I've got my appetite. I eat and I drink and I eat and I drink. But, it's actually psyching yourself up to do a bit of exercise. But you know something, this afternoon, I must have ate or drank something that, I don't know what the hell it was that I ate or drank, but I went for the sleep, in the evening. I woke up early in the evening. And when I woke up, I wanted to do exercise. Straight to, and I had a couple of ciders in the afternoon and an ale. And then the next day, when I woke up, I just wanted to do some exercise. We got up and I started doing press-ups, and then I went on the exercise bike for half an hour, which I haven't really got around to doing. I'm going to block this bloody thing here anyway. I'm going to block this idiot. There you go. Block that one there. Okay. Okay, let's see. So, yeah, I mean, exercise. I was really, really in the mood all of a sudden to do exercise, to get on the exercise bike, to do press-ups and other things. And I thought to myself, why can't I be in that mood all the time? It's strange, really. Sometimes you're really, really in the mood to do exercise. And most of the other times, in my case, I can't be bothered. I mean, I need to psych myself up to get on that exercise. Honestly, if you do half an hour on the exercise bike every day, that's not a bad thing to be doing, you know. Anyway, where are we now? McLaren F1 race. I'd love to see her with a Pampers. Oh, whatever. Yeah, okay, thank you. David Coleman. My ex gave me a hand job in a plane flying to Jamaica. Good for you. Thailand bound. I had off to Mombasa tomorrow to get me some Kenyan forbidden fruit. You're really flying to Kenya to good for you if you are really good. Nice to hear from you, Peter. Anyway, I haven't heard from you. Well, nice to hear from you anyway. Farang Travels. Frey Bentos. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. Nice, but not ideal. I actually feel good, you know, from doing all that exercise. And I won't say all that exercise, I mean, 20 minutes of press-ups and stuff, and then half an hour on the exercise, all that exercise. You know, I should be doing that every bloody day, but I actually feel better for that. Because the thing is, if you keep that up, and I have done it before, but it's just, you really need to psych yourself up and motivate yourself for it. If you keep it up, and once you start seeing results, once you feel your stomach going a bit smaller, and you know, it kind of puts you in a good frame of mind. You don't want to eat like a pig so much afterwards. You know what I mean? Up to me. Soy 7-11 Bangkok 800 baht for full naughty massage. I had one last week. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Let's see. Where are we? Milton Mulberry, poor pie. It's almost impossible to lose weight while drinking alcohol, unfortunately. Not only because of calories, but because it lowers inhibition. I actually had 3 beers this afternoon. You know, because I could have gone out, but I mean, it was raining, you know, so I didn't want to leave the house. You know, so I actually had 3 beers while I was actually on the internet. I had a real ale, and I had 2 cans of that Magners. And you know, I went to sleep for a couple of hours, and I woke up and I felt, geez, I felt lively. I felt I wanted to. What was it? What was there something in that bloody Magnus or something that, you know? Kipax, good for you, Eddie. It'll make you feel good about yourself. Thank you. Asteroid, yeah. Whenever I need to lose weight, I've always had to lay off drinking until I'm done. That's a very, very, very difficult thing to do. I think Peter, as Peter Thailand bound, he'll tell you about that. I mean. I think Peter lost a bit of weight, but he still managed to have a couple of beers every night. It's at the end of the day, it's a psychological thing. People eat, and I'm guilty of this. We eat when we're not really hungry, or we eat twice as much as what we really need. I'm telling, especially when it comes to things like roast potatoes. I'll do a roast dinner, right? A nice big, you know, nice big healthy, you know, lump of chicken and roast potatoes. I love roast potatoes. I love them. You know, so how many roast potatoes do you have with a roast dinner? Well, some people have, you know, 3, maybe 2 or 3. I can't have that. I've got to have 10, 12. Yeah. Oh my God! Come on. You know, I can't put a couple of roast potatoes in the oven. I can't do that. I've got to put 10 of them in there. Yeah. You know, I'm like, this is it. I don't really need it, but you know, that's the way it is. Mark Oleg, 122 in the chat. Make sure everyone pounds the like, thumbs up button. Thank you for that, Mark. I really appreciate that, Mark. Yeah, I have noticed that you know, these little live streams, this is the other channel, but these regular live streams are gaining ground. I got up to 122 before. So thanks to all of those people who are tuning in. I really do appreciate that. Cats and good coffee. Eddie, I understand you. Not everything in life is getting soapy massages and eating. It is also interesting to travel, discover and understand cultures. Some people have zero curiosity, and it's well, I like travel. I do like travel. I mean, I traveled for 6 months around South America, Brazil, where I had some lovely ladies, yeah, and then down Argentina, which I thought was a bit of a disappointment, and right the way back up through Bolivia, which is amazing, absolutely amazing cultural place. Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, the Amazon, and that wasn't about going for soapy massages. That was experiencing the great landscapes of the world. So I like travel. I like travel. I think there's a joke there. Stephen Forex, Jamaica, David, or did you just have it? Okay, yeah, that was to do with the on the plane. Paige, just one. I've done a lot cycling and played tennis 3 times a week. Exercise is great as long as you keep it progressive. Absolutely. But you know what? In the past, I have an exercise bike, and it's pretty. I mean, you be on your exercise bike whilst watching videos, watching YouTube or whatever. And really, if you, it can be pretty boring if you're not just doing the exercise bike. But what I find with it, and I have done it in the past, I once lost a lot of weight simply by pounding away at that exercise bike. It is really, really, it's a great way of losing weight, but you've got to be realistic and keep it up. Dutch Frank. Let's see. Okay. Judge Farang, it's not the real Peter. Oh, really? Oh, really? It's an imposter, is it? Is it really? Yeah, because I would have thought Peter would have mentioned something about going to Mombasa. Asteroid, do you know what they say? The darker the fruit, the sweeter the berry. Okay, fine, thank you. David Coleman, that's not Peter 100%. Okay, so we've established that that's an imposter of Peter. That's an imposter of Peter, Thailand bound. Okay. Okay. Thailand bound, guys. I'm not flying to Africa tomorrow. That wasn't me. It's the thing about these imposters is that they're pretty proficient. You really need to. I don't know how I can see his channel page from here, but they copy your profile pic and all of that kind of stuff. It is very deceptive. Stephen Forex, it was lovely earlier today. I went to Colwyn Bay, t-shirt weather, even had lunch outside. Well, that's nice. Do you know something? Colwyn Bay, that's in North Wales. I was watching, uh, yeah, I was watching a YouTube video the other day about I think it was the 10 most boring towns in the UK. And one of the ones that was listed was Llandudno in Wales. And I loved it. I used to go to Llandudno when I was a kid. You could go there on a day trip to Liverpool with the Great Orme and the Little Orme, these mountains and the cable cars. And I seemed to be cool. I was kind of hurt in a way. I thought, Llandudno was a lovely place. I don't know what I figured on that list. Cats and good coffee. Just for that, yeah, I visited the Netherlands a few times and loved it. I did not smoke pot, nor went for the red light, whatever. McLaren F1 that doesn't sound like the real Peter Town. No, somehow it doesn't. Somehow it doesn't. Let's see. Yummy, lovely stuff. Roast potatoes and French fries. No, that's not a meal. You have either one or the other. You have either one or the other. David Coleman, Stephen Forrest. I talked it into. Okay. Dutch Farang, is this world real? Yeah, it's just about it. What am I having to eat tonight? Like I say, I would have liked some pork pies. What I've noticed is I think people get a bit fed up when I start eating pork pies and in front of the camera, I go, what do I do? Like this chap, he said, yummy, lovely stuff. Yeah, I think people do get a bit Thailand bound. Hi guys, you know what's really me. I don't criticize others. I'm very polite. Wouldn't leave a stupid car. Okay, we'll probably I'm sure that sounds like you Peter there anyway. So thanks for tuning in anyway. And it's sad. Yeah, it's difficult for everyone because there's those imposters down there, but nobody takes them seriously anyway. But if that's you, Peter, hello, nice of you to tune in. Steve Vodak, it's okay, Peter. So YouTube locks down names. It'll always happen. Oh, Jesus Christ! No, I don't think YouTube are that daft, really. I don't think they are. What's this? You either like a meal or you don't. Ed, a good way to ensure you do cardio every day is to tell yourself you can't have your first drink until you've finished your session. We'll get you doing it sooner rather than later. That sounds pretty good. Ian UK, my doctor says masturbation is great exercise. I'll be back in a minute, just doing a workout. Okay, it's nothing wrong with masturbation. It's just sex with someone you love. El Terrifico, Peter's flying to Africa. Wow, no, I don't think he is. I think somehow we would have. I don't think he would have gone to Mombasa on the spare of the moment. Thailand bound. Ed's on every night right now. I'm enjoying it. You'll be on tomorrow. I'd love to be on. Tomorrow I'll be on my main channel, the one with the bland name of Edward Sweeney. Oh, I hate that bloody name. I mean, this is Steady Eddie Live. I'm still building this channel. Just getting used to it. And on this channel, we talk about other things. We don't necessarily talk about travel on this channel, but it's all a bit of fun anyway. And at the end of the day, what's on the bloody TV at 10 o'clock of the night time? What is it? Yogi Bear. Ed, I had Ludo tattooed on my dick. When it gets out, it says Lantano. Okay, fine. Thank you. Judge Farang, YouTube. James Tippins, repent and believe the gospel. Okay, amen. James Tippins, come to Christ. Okay, fine. Thank you. I'm right here. Stephen Forex. Come and smile. Don't be shy. Touch my bum. This is life. From the award-winning Cheeky Girls hit song. Sounds like I've seen it. I've seen them on. They were on. What was it? What was that program? This week with Andrew Neil, and I think Diane Abbott was on the same program as well. And Andrew Neil, that presenter on BBC, political, interviewer and expert. The Cheeky Girls appeared on that show. And I don't think Diane Abbott liked it very much. I think Andrew Neil, he liked it. I think he likes the Romanian cheeky girls appearing on this sort of political discussion program. Oh, lovely stuff. I wouldn't say no. Anyway, thank you for that super chat. Anyway, Stephen, I really do appreciate that, mate. Really do appreciate that. You either like a meal or you don't. Ed, you can change your main channel name if you want. I know I do, but I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to go on my main channel. I've got up to 42,000 subscribers, over 12 million views. And the thing is, if I start changing the name as others have done, I always think it'll go pear-shaped. You start confusing, and I don't like doing that. No, I'll stick with that one anyway. I'll stick with that one. You either like a meal or you don't. Ed, did you ever used to watch Bangkok 112 YouTube channel? I wonder whatever happened to him. Okay, we might just discuss it for a reason on tomorrow's. I don't know what happened to Bangkok 112, but yeah, I did watch him all the time. Not everybody approved of what he did, but he made some damn fine, very, very entertaining videos. He really, really did. He really, really did. Lewis C. Cheeky girls reckon that they were virgins. If they were virgins, then I'm Donny Osmond. Okay? Pacey this one. I cut the beard if I lose weight and drink Diet Cola instead. Also limited carbs. Absolutely. I hate YouTube and all these. McLaren F1 hate YouTube and all these fakes on me. We take you guys as gospel. These a-holes will just spoil our entertainment. It's like, well, they are like liars, aren't they? They're lying about, fakes are liars, basically. lying about being someone else. Asteroid, I'm sure if you change your name to Steady Eddie, everyone would know. Okay. Okay, Thailand bound. I thought the cheeky girls looked a bit anxious. They didn't do anything for me. Know what I mean? No, I wouldn't mind them doing something for me. I wouldn't mind them doing something for me. Okay, it is time for Squeaky Door. Back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Okay, here we go. I must admit, I really did enjoy this last night. Famous grouse, lovely stuff. A litre bottle from Asda delivered last week. Oh my God, tasty stuff. This is what you really need on a, well, I won't say it's a chilly night, but it doesn't feel like a summer's night. Not by a long way. Okay, I'm going to put that down there. Oh, lovely. Cheers, guys. Famous grouse. Oh. That's bloody good. That is a damn fine whiskey. That's a fine whiskey. Oh, yes. That definitely gets a thumbs up. Definitely. Okay, let's see. Sean the Prawn. Okay. Hi, Eddie. Cheers. I don't think it's possible for the door to be any more squeakier. I'm working on it. Lewis C. How long do you have to spend on an exercise bike to burn off 3 cans of beer? Now, there's a question. I've no idea. But really, if you really get into an exercise, it's all about how much time you put into an exercise bike. If you really do it on a regular basis, I'll be the first to admit, the last 5 weeks, I've been so physically lazy. Remember, I was 4 months in Thailand. I walked for miles every day, but I still, I drink and eat a lot in that climate, so I didn't really lose any weight. But really, if you do get into it's a psychological thing. As soon as you start feeling a few results, like yourself tightening up a bit, then it's good, but you really need to put the hours in. An exercise bike's easy, really. It's not as if you have to go out running in the rain. An exercise bike, you can do it in front of your TV set, and you can watch TV while you're doing it. You just got to bang the hours in, haven't you? That's what I need to do. You either like it, Castle Coffee. I used to watch Bangkok 112 videos, and I would see that the most recent videos is from 2 years ago. I loved his videos. Some people hate him for what he was, a hidden vlogger and all that. But he was a very, very, very fine filmmaker. I mean, to actually weave a story without saying a word, to actually do a 20 or 30-minute video and weave a story without saying a word. And obviously, his hidden camera techniques, he was fantastic. Not necessarily, the most ethical guy. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who would like to bloody, get hold of him for all the wrong reasons. But he was really, really good. I used to watch him he was excellent. His videos, he got us about 1 million subscribers, didn't he? Absolutely amazing. David Coleman, I'm cooking some chips. I cut my own. Okay, good for you, mate. Eugene Vincent, Ed, have you had any more bananas from the co-op lately? No, I haven't. No, I haven't. The last batch that I had they were all bad. Really, really, really pissed off about that. Stephen Forex, that's the number one cause of house fires. Chip bad after pub. Yeah, drinking and cooking don't go very well together. Asteroid, Ed, do you get depressed if it's raining in Thailand the same way you do in England? I personally enjoy this. That's a good question. Well, no, not the same way as in England. In England, yeah, I get depressed when it's raining because it's cold and it's damp and it's grey and all that. In Thailand, it's still warm and it's still t-shirt weather when it gets when it's raining in Thailand. So it's still good fun, you know. Hammy Hamster, we all missed a squeaky door during his absence, okay? Okay. Steve Forrest, exercise bikes make great closers once you got bored of them after 2 weeks. Yeah, that's a good point, though, mate. I've actually been known to do that. Thailand bound. The problem with an exercise bike, you won't keep it up long time because it's very bored. It can be a bit boring. You're better off going for a 30-minute walk every day. Much more interesting, more likely to keep it up. Yeah, that's true. I'd rather go for a 30-minute walk. But walking is very, very overrated when it comes to losing weight. Some people think you go for a long walk every day and you burn off the calories. You do when you're running or when when you're cycling, but not really. Walking doesn't really burn off that many calories. Not in my opinion. El Terrifico, dead Farang, not seen him for ages. Yeah, he hasn't made a video for a couple of years, has he? Probably doing other things. Devil's Den, better off cutting down the calorie intake than doing too much exercise. Far easier. Yeah, I mean, exercise is important, but it's at the end of the day, losing weight is a matter of cutting down your food and drink. That's what it's really all about. Shane O'Traveller, optical walker versus resistant bands are the best workout options, but inside your homes. Okay, never heard of them. Harvey Wisdom, evening Eddie, I'm on the Moretti, 3 big bottles for £5 from Tesco. Every little helps. Good for you, mate. The Moretti. Sounds nice. Sounds bloody good. Nice to hear from you anyway, Harvey. Nice to hear from you. Harvey and me had some good nights out in Koh Samui. So I hope you're all right anyway, Harvey. Nice to hear from you. Okay, let's see. Eddie, if we paid the excess package charge, you would take the squeaky door to Romania. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be good. Roy goes, Eddie, the only way to lose weight is to eat less. Intermittent fasting. Don't eat for 18 hours. I know that. And in the past, I've managed to discipline my eating. But it's bloody boring. I like food. I mean, I do like food. I mean, it's boring, and especially at the night time when you get to sit down and watch Netflix or whatever you're doing at night time. It's okay having a beer, but to feel hungry as well. I don't want to feel hungry. I don't want to feel hungry. I like food. You've got to discipline yourself, but I don't want to be going hungry. I don't want to be going hungry. I really don't. But I will if I. But if I you know, I just need to get going with that exercise bike. Really, that's what I need to be doing. Thailand bound, would you check in the Bates Motel on Soy 4 again? No, you know what it's like. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Cats and Good Coffee. I joined the gym 2 days ago after months without going to a gym. I feel great. Good to reinforce the back with machines, proper cardio, using good spinning bike. Is it worth the time? It is worth the time. The problem I had with going to the gym is that I used to be pretty good at. I used to be able to, you know, lift quite decent amounts of weight, and I'm squat. I've got kind of big legs, so I was built for squatting. I used to squat quite a lot. And the problem is when I start training my legs, my weight instantly rockets up because my legs don't carry a lot of the muscular, muscular stuff. My weight just rockets up overnight. Another problem with going to the gym and doing a really strenuous workout, what I found is that afterwards I just want to eat. I just want to eat. You know, I want to have a big, not a little meal. If I've done a big workout at the gym and I come home, I don't want a bloody snack. I want a massive big bloody roast dinner. You know that's the problem with it, really. Stephen Forex walked 4 miles today, and the tracker app tells me that that's about 386 calories. Sat here with a beer now, no hope for me. See that is it, 386 calories. You know, a reasonable sized chocolate bar would consume that. Walked 4 miles today, and the tracker app tells me that that's about 386 calories. You see, that's at the end of the day, if you really want to say about losing weight, you've got to cut down on your food. I mean, if you can lose weight simply through exercise, then that's probably a lot of exercise. Nomad overseas, get a 16 kg kettlebell. You do a lot of different exercises with it in small space. And works a lot of different muscle groups. Yeah. Okay. I want to know what the bloody hell was it that I ate or drank this afternoon? What was it that Magnus cider? I was drinking a couple of cans of Magnus cider this afternoon. I don't understand. For the last 5 weeks, I've sat around, you know, reluctant to do any exercise, and I'm eating and drinking, and I've been, I've been reluctant to do any exercise. For some reason, I drank a few beers this afternoon, including a couple of Magnus ciders. I went to sleep for a couple of hours. I woke up, and within minutes, I was bang, just doing. I was, I was doing press ups, and I was on the exercise bike. I felt, I really want to exercise and get fit. And all of a sudden, I felt motivated. It's strange that it's a psychological thing. I wish it could be like that all the time. What the hell did I eat or drink this afternoon? I can't figure it out. David Coleman, I ride my bike every day. I try to do 2 hours. Well, that's a lot. That is 2 hours on a bike. Presumably that's an outdoor cycling bike. That's a lot. Kippo Macma, my granddad ate pies, chippy, etc. Drank most days and smoked. He lived until 94 years old. It's pot luck most. Yeah, that's it. Right. Yeah, there is an argument to say, isn't it, that you've either got it or you haven't got it. It's either you've got it. Let's see. Nigel Johnson, why do people drive to the gym? Why don't they just run there and back and save on the fees? That sounds like good advice. Yes, sounds like good advice. It always makes me laugh. These bloody people who get in the car, put the dog in the car to drive the car, the dog somewhere, so they can take the dog for a walk. Why don't they just drive? What's the matter with, just walk the bloody dog? Why do you have to put it in the car? Silent bound. Ed, the only weight you picked up is the beer in your left hand and the whiskey on your right hand. Okay, fine, thank you. Sean the Prawn, Eddie, have you ever kept in touch with a Thai lady from a long distance? No, I like to be up close and personal with them. Catching comfort, it's true length of life is many genetics. However, quality of life and how you feel day to day is dependent on your lifestyle. Yeah, absolutely. Gary Hughes, got to fit into your bikini for Romania, Ed. Okay. Don't they call it a mankini? Yeah, that sounds about right. Thailand bound, a 30-minute walk equates to 300 calories lost. 300 calories is like a Mars bar, really, isn't it? It's like a Mars bar. It's not much. Paige just one. I had a 30-minute bike ride to tennis club. Played tennis 2 hours and 30-minute bike ride back to home. It does great for fitness. That sounds very, very active, mate. Kipax, you're in the gym. You made it. I've been in lots of gyms over the years. You know, I'm 60 years old now. I mean, I've got to be careful. You know, I've got to be careful. Yeah, I've got to be. I've seen people die in the gym. I know that's not a very nice thing to say, but it's true. And no, my daughter says the more muscle you build, it will use stored energy, fat in order to feed the muscle, even in resting. Also, check out body weight exercise. You can do a lot without expensive equipment. Absolutely, I'm quite happy to do if you press it. Right now, I'm going to block this idea here. Okay, I'm going to get over there. Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm going to block this idiot here. Naked for fun, yeah, okay. So let's see. And no, my daughter says the more muscle you build, it was okay. We've done that one. Okay, but there you go. Paul Hoskin, a large pork pie is dirty. I know. Yeah, I do know that. I do know that. Kippo Macmax, I went to the gym 20 years ago and had 8 pints afterwards because I was thirsty. Wasted time. Sounds it, doesn't it? Okay, Mark Ollig, 60 years old. Well, I mean, don't they say, 60 is the new 40? Well, I believe life begins at 40 because the last 20 years of my life, I've done all the traveling that I wanted to do. I always dreamed of doing. The last 20 years of my life, I've definitely been the best third of my life, without a doubt. So let's hope there's more to come. Anyway, let's hope there's more to come. Right now, let me just say, okay, now we're going to do a bit. We're going to got a little bit of fun here anyway. Got a little bit of fun here. A little bit of fun. It's coming towards the end of the show now. 123 minutes. Yes. Let's see. Okay, we're coming to the end of the show now because I'm trying to keep it to 90 minutes. We've been on for 123 minutes. We got a bit of a rant about airport queues and all this kind of stuff, and flight cancellation, all the depressing stuff. So I'm going to go out with a little bit of fun. Okay, tonight's episode of I Do Like Hairy. Okay, I do like hairy. Now, who have we got tonight? For tonight, as you know, I love 70s vampire movies, and I love women without tattoos and real natural knockers and gothic stuff and hairy womanly bits. Like natural the way women should be. Featured Linda Hayden. Featured someone last night, Ingrid Pitt, the wonderful, the absolutely beautiful Ingrid Pitt, and I've recommended where you can actually see them in all their full frontal glory on YouTube. And we're coming to one of my favorite full frontal hairy ladies, absolutely beautiful. And this goes back quite a long way. Who is this? Who is that? Anyone? Anyone know who that is? Yes? Anyone know who that is? Yeah? There you go. Does anybody know who that gorgeous? Well, that's that's probably back in the 1960s there. But that was a lovely actress. It was never really made the big time, but she was in a lot of bit parts, and she was well known. And she was in a couple of TV series, and absolutely very, very beautiful woman. Anyone know who this is? Shane O'Traveller, 60s porn star. No. Debbie Harry. No, it's not Debbie Harry. It's definitely not Debbie Harry. Stephen Forex, she is Perky. David Martian's got it. David Martian, the absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning Gabriel Drake. She was, you go back a long way, maybe 50 odd years ago, and she was like getting her knockers out. And she was full frontal in a couple of movies, which I really, really. There's one movie she was in called Au Pair Girls, and it has one of I think it's from 1972. You used to get the whole film on YouTube, but you can still get little segments of it. But she got the most how can I put it, rewindable full frontal scene that you've ever imagined. I mean, you just want to rewind it. Oh my god, oh my god, absolutely beautiful. Let's see, McLaren France. No, absolutely. Mark Ollie, she has nice bit. She's absolutely gorgeous, absolutely okay. Let's see. Yes, I did hear that. David Martin, her brother, was the guitarist Nick Drake. It was, of course, the absolutely beautiful Gabriel Drake. Now, do you ever remember one of the most wonderful TV series, which actually was made in 1968, that far back? A wonderful show called UFO. Absolutely love it. Now, she's the one in the middle with the purple hair. Okay. There were so many glamorous. Watch that program UFO, and her name is Asia on the far left. On the right, you've got Wanda Venom. Such women look like women in those days, even if they had a purple wig on. They still look like real women. Gabriel Drake was in quite a few episodes of that UFO. It was like the British equivalent of Star Trek, but it had Ed Straker in his baby grower suit. And it was such a such a wonderful series, a science fiction series, a British version of Star Trek, and it was such. I'd watch it even now. I would watch it even now. But that was Gabriel Drake, okay, Gabriel Drake, and here's another picture of Gabriel Drake. There she is. Oh, lovely, lovely. Now in the opening, the very, very, very first episode of UFO, Gabriel Drake changes a skirt, and it's such a sexy. Oh my god! But she went into quite a few very, very adult movies. Let's see, Nigel Johnson. Oh, what a pair! Absolutely, that film, Au Pair Girls. It's worth seeing just for the Gabriel Drake moment. Honestly, check it out if you want to know what full frontal and hairy is all about. That's the one to see. Roy Gold. Bridget Barder was always my favourite in the 1960s. Well, absolutely, I wouldn't deny Bridget anything. Paige, well, you don't need much money to enjoy life. Even the local bum in the street can go buy his beers and enjoy just like the rich. Not quite like that. Yeah. Yogi Bear, she's 78 now, Ed. Yes, she's 78. I think she was born in 1944. That's quite an old age. But when she was young, she was hot stuff. A Nomad Overseas, UFO, Unshaven Fanny. Do you know what? I watched UFO when I was a little kid, and they repeated a few times. And about 5 years ago, I watched every episode on YouTube. I think it was 26 episodes. What a terrific program. Corny as hell, but such great fun. Wonderful. McLaren F1 race. I have a sneaky feeling she doesn't shave down below. Go and check out Au Pair Girls. And a couple of go and watch that, mate. She's got, oh my god, she's awesome. She's absolutely awesome. Gary News, Wanda Venom, yummy. Yeah, there was such lovely looking women around in those days. Thailand Bound. Do you remember the black girls with the mini skirts in Star Trek? They were really sexy. I like Star Trek, but I preferred the UFO. Shano Traveller, Transylvania Woman, absolutely. Farang Travels, hairy is disgusting. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Here's another picture. Now, this is a scene from Au Pair Girls, okay. Now, who is the actor on the left? It was the actor. You recognize that actor from 70s TV comedy shows, okay? Who can recognize? Who can recognize that? Recognize that? Who's that? Linda Lusardi had bust. Really, did she? Linda Lusardi had bust, did she? Let's see. Who's the David Coleman? Eddie, we have to have a real vote. on hair or no hair. Are you afraid your size? Well, we don't need to vote. It's just my opinion. Who's put that? Who's put that? Yeah, let's see. Jeff Ives, but Richard O'Sullivan. Stephen Forex, I think he was the first one there. Richard O'Sullivan. Yeah, it was the man about the house, wasn't it? I think he was a popular actor, curiously popular. But he was the public liked him. He was a man about the house. Robin's Nest, that was the spin-off series. And he was in a lot of things, Richard O'Sullivan. He was quite a like. I didn't like him. But if you check out the scenes, he's got scenes in this movie, Au Pair Girls, with Gabriel Drake. Go and check out that movie. You used to be able to get the whole lot of it on YouTube. But I don't. You can still get a little part of it on YouTube, but I'm not sure you can get the full movie anymore. But if you can check out that movie, it's worth checking out for that. Oh, she was a goddess, Gabriel Drake, absolute goddess. Bernie, number overseas, Bernie Winters. Okay, we've done that one there. Okay. Paul Hoskin, man about the house. I like the blonde one. The blonde one's name was Sally Thompson. She was the dumb blonde, wasn't she? Yeah, I like that. It was in them days. Don't forget, we only had 3 TV channels, so you didn't have a great deal of. You didn't have a great deal of choice, really. These kind of shows got a lot of rate, but this was from the movie 1972, adult comedy, Au Pair Girls. Go check it out. It is well worth looking. If you want to see beautiful Gabriel in all their full frontal glory, and believe me, if you're watching it, you may find yourself rewinding it again and again. And I know I have. Okay, unashamedly. Thailand Bound, the Hammer horror film shown in England on a Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Always had lovely ladies with their juggers. I know, I love them. I'm starting to think this is the real Thailand Bound because good minds think alike. Nigel Johnson, Paula Wilcox. She was the other one. She was the main female in Man About the House. David Coleman, Frida Kojaks. Okay, Frida. He obviously likes them shaved. Stephen Forex. I love Dick Turpin as a young kid. Fond memories of that show. Dick Turpin. Did I ever actually watch that? I'm sure it was a good show. I remember Desert Crusader. Mark Ollick. Here there was CBS, NBC, ABC, and P. So you had 4 channels. We used to envy America in those days. We used to hear stories about America having lots and lots of TV channels, whereas we only had 3. We only had 3 in England, and they all finished at midnight. You know what a terrible childhood that was. Patriots One. Did you get the money with it? Patriots One. Did you get money with those Cambodia Bar Girls videos? 2.7 million views. Actually, the other one got about 1.6 million or something like that as well. So I had advertising on them. So yeah, I probably did. McLaren F1 race. The missus got home. Sorry for the delay in the chat. Paul Hoskin. I like them hairy and full of whipped cream. You dirty man. You dirty old man. You dirty. I stepped over this head. Roy Gold. Disney Plus has got a new quality documentary on the Sex Pistols. Changing time. Anyway, that is the beautiful Gabriel Drake in Au Pair Girls. She was actually someone I seem to be at the cinema. Recall when I was at the cinema in the 70s watching a movie, and there's short films. Do you remember that? Remember short films? You used to have a movie at the cinema, and then sometimes they'd have a short film, a boring short. And I watched this short film, and it actually featured Gabriel Drake having rumpy pumpy, Gabriel Drake naked, having rumpy pumpy with a couple of guys. So she'd done a lot of very, very daring stuff around about that time. I've never actually managed to see that. I think it was a short film. I can't remember what it was called, but it was. I'd love to get hold. I'd love to get hold of that one. I'd love to see that one again. I probably watched that 100 times. Okay, so that was tonight's episode of I Do Like Hairy. Go check out the absolutely beautiful Gabriel Drake. Okay. So a few more comments before I go. I'm going to pour myself another whiskey before I go. Oh, Once again, I know I'm not getting paid. This is not product placement. It's that I genuinely like it. The Famous Grouse. Bloody good stuff. Bloody good stuff. Okay. So here we go. Roy Gold. Disney Plus has got a new quality documentary on the Sex Pistols, Changing Times. Oh, wonderful. Do you like the Sex Pistols? Did you like the Sex Pistols? Do you know something? As time goes on, I must admit, a few people have said that the Sex Pistols were not really a great band. They really became famous because they're outrageous, swearing on TV and all that kind of stuff. And as the years go by, I'm inclined to agree with that. I actually don't really rate the Sex Pistols as very much. I don't rate their songs very. They didn't make that many records, and I don't think they even sold that many records. Richard Branson would tell you that. They were outrageous, and their charisma and all the other stuff that went with it was great fun. But in terms of actually making great, memorable songs, no, I don't think they did really. I think there was a far better group around at that time called the Stranglers. And the Stranglers are the only group from that new wave area of the middle to late 70s that you can still listen to today and say they made great. The Stranglers were miles better than the Sex Pistols, miles better. Let's see. Mark Hollick, yup, at midnight when the TV station went off the air, the national anthem was played with the flag waving. Really? Well, that's in America. Well, we had that in Britain. In fact, we were so desperate, Mark. We were so desperate for TV entertainment. We had 3 TV channels in the 1970s: BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. And we were so desperate for entertainment that when the channels finished at midnight, a dot appeared in the middle of the screen, and you kind of looked at the dot to see it disappear, like as if it was going to miraculously reappear, and you were going to get more programs through the night. Well, we had, it was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Kippo Macmax, Joan Collins never shaved her bush. You obviously have insider information on that one. Oh no, actually she did go full frontal, didn't she? In the stud when she was having rumpy pumpy in a bathroom scene with Oliver Tobias. I think she did do a full frontal. Yeah, you are quite right there, Kippo Macmax. Yeah, you're quite right. Oh, we'll have to check that one out sometime. Okay, Lewis C. I want to see a naughty version of Parker and Lady Penelope at it. Okay. Yeah, that was Thunderbirds, Lady Penelope and Parker. The butler and chauffeur. And absolutely. Oh, you God Almighty! Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, should we do the joke? Shall we do the joke? Come on, you mentioned it. Should we do the joke? Lady Penelope, Parker, take off my dress. Yes, my lady. Parker, take off my bra. Yes, my lady. Parker, take off my knickers. Yes, my lady. And Parker, don't ever wear my clothes ever again. Okay, there you go. Couldn't resist that. Everyone knows that one. Devil's Den, Johnny Briggs, he was like Michael. Devil's Den, Johnny Briggs, who was Michael Baldwin, was in our pit. Yeah, he probably was. There was probably a lot of well-known actors. He went on to be in exciting things like Coronation Street. Let's see. Cats and Good Coffee, product placement. No, it's only product placement. You get bloody pay for it, haven't I? David Coleman, I took 3 blade razors to Cuba. The women can't get them. I still can't figure out how they shaved a bum with those razors. Shane, the flaming Eddie is gross. Okay. Thailand bound. Who remembers the girl who played the railway children and then wanted to become a sex symbol? Who remembers the girl who played in the railway children and then went on to become a sex symbol in many UK movies? I remember it very, very well. It was the beautiful Jenny Agutter, very, very English, beautiful. She actually went full frontal in that movie. Walkabout, yeah, which I think you can still see that on YouTube as well. Full from. She was actually very, very young. I think she was actually only about at the most, I will say, about 17 when that was actually filmed, which is a bit naughty, really. So we don't want to really go there. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful girl. Lovely. Jenny Agutter, absolutely gorgeous. YouTube Vince, a great documentary on YouTube about the Christmas show the Sex Pistols put on for the miners in the 70s. I didn't know that one. Patriots, Lemmy Clancy used to drink 2 bottles of whiskey every day. Probably greatest rock and roll man ever. Oh, are you talking about Lenny? David Merchant, Jenny Agutter, yeah. Jeff Ives, what about the Clash, Ed? I've actually thought of a teensy weensy bit over it. I know some people, maybe if I got to know them a bit better, a bit more of their stuff, but I've always thought that a teensy weensy bit over it. I didn't like that Joe Strummer. I really didn't like that singer. I didn't like his voice, and I didn't like his attitude. He seems to think he was above everyone. He seemed to stress his own importance, like he should be prime minister. I've seen interviews with him. I didn't like him as a person. I thought he was a bit arrogant, but that might upset a few people saying that. The Chameleons, great band. Never heard of those. Never heard of them. Louis C. Pistols blew my mind when I was 17. Loved the Stranglers too. Well, yeah, but I mean, the Pistols probably did, but I don't think their music has stood the test of time. The Stranglers has. They were fantastic musicians. I can still listen to the Stranglers songs today, and they had the keyboards, and they were such a good band. And their music has definitely, stood the test of time. Yeah, absolutely. Stephen Forex, Jenny was so damn hot in Logan's Run and other stuff. Yeah, absolutely. That was a good science fiction film. With Michael York was also in that. That was good stuff. Good stuff. You're quite right there, mate. Yeah. David Coleman, British TV is always 100% better than the American crap. We did have some memorable stuff, but I think the American TVs is probably better nowadays. Nowadays they have stuff like Breaking Bad and all that, don't they? Let's see, Mark Ollie, that's how Pong started. Not sure who Pong is. Nigel Johnson, that dot was better than some programs nowadays. Yeah, probably right. Cats and Good Coffee. David got Miami Vice and V were great American shows, man. I like Miami Vice. V was a bit of a tacky, sci-fi maybe. Yeah, Public Image, Mick, man. Public Image better than the Sex Business. El Terrifico. I went to see the Dam. They were late. Just got out of Manchester cells. Oh well, yeah. Well, at least it was nice for you to be free, wasn't it? Roy Gold saw the Stranglers. The Damned were very gothic, the first punk rock band to have a hit. Saw them in 1970s. And that sounds great. I'd love to be able to say that I seen the Stranglers and the Damned and all that. They were actually bloody good. Some really great bands. But I think in terms of actually making quality music, I don't think the Sex Pistols were really the best. And as for that other, what were the ones who were tipped to be the superstars of the 1980s? A overrated punk rock group who then said they were new wave, not punk rock, and then they had a band who had a sort of really a hit that was totally untypical, a hit called "I Don't Like Mondays," and then it went to Geldof's Head, and the next thing you know, oh, we're gonna take the world by storm. They went downhill after that. So many bands predicted Geldof and the Rats, the Boomtown Rats, were going to be the superstars of the 1980s. They went nowhere. U2 and the Police, they did. The Rats, they just disappeared. They were a very, very ordinary band, the Rats. They were another one, like the Clash. They had a lead singer who thought too highly of himself. Paul Hoskin, you can't see a bush on YouTube. That's only recently. I know what you mean. Only recently, not so long ago, you could see it. So YouTube is changing all the time, but changing it all the time. Trust you to notice that, Paul. Tom, do time them shave edit, or does it not coating on? Most of them do. Most of them. Okay, let's see. Thailand Bound. Thailand Bound. I still don't know if it's real Thailand Bound. At least this guy's coming up with some good comments. Back in the 70s, wow. Tales of the Unexpected. That was Roald Dahl's really good program. Jason King and Randall Upkirk. Jason King was he was in Department S, and he was a fashion icon, wasn't he? Peter Wingard, yeah, with his side bits and his droopy moustache and his perm and his you know, his shirt, you know, with the collar outside of his coat and his lapel. Oh, he was a real fashion icon, yeah. A real fashion icon. I think we were naive in those days, weren't we? We all thought, oh my God, he is such a cool man. I'd like to be him, yeah. And then he was caught in a public toilets doing something that he shouldn't have been doing with another man. Yeah, oh my God almighty. It's going to block this turkey anyway. Going to block this turkey. There you go. A nomad overseas. Was she an American werewolf in London? I think she was. I think she was. Let's see. Stephen Forrest, you want to see a great music doc, or watch Oil City Confidential, the story of Dr. Feelgood. It was said about Dr. Feelgood that they bridged that gap during the dark ages of rock music in the 1970s. They were one of those bands because they called them the dark age because it was after glam rock had faded and music had lost the plot. And then punk rock came along in the 76, but 74, 75, what they call the dark ages, because there wasn't really much happening then. And I think Dr. Feelgood were one of those bands that were around then. Stephen Ford, yes, Nomad, he sure was. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that movie again. Kippo Macmax. I've had plenty of bushes in Pattaya. I asked them before I bar find them. So you either like them or you don't like them. You know, excuse me, Lord. Excuse me, Dave. Would you like a drink? And by the way, have you got a hairy fanny? Oh my God, I'll have to try that one. I'll have to try that one. Bernard Purcell, hit the like button. Okay, we're at over 100, and it's getting popular. This little old channel, it's getting popular. This is my second channel. It's growing in popularity. It was only a couple of weeks back that it got over 1,000 subscribers, and now we had 122 people in the chat at one time. So thanks to everybody. A big thanks to everybody who's making this show popular. Let's see. The Ramones, the Sex Pistols were not good musicians. They became famous because of hype. Yeah, I suppose probably too. Stephen Forex, Frida Bush. I say Frida. I'd have phrased it in another way. I'd have said, "Bring back hairy fannies. Bring them back. Bring them back. Don't take them away from me." Absolutely okay. I'm going to finish soon anyway. Before we get too vulgar. Really? Lewis C. Stranglers at all now, minus you Cornwell and Dave Greenfield. Well, I don't know. I mean, if Greenfield, was he the drummer or the keyboardist? I don't think it's going to be much of a band without those two. Let's see. David Heisenberg, lookalike Russell. Breaking Bad is what I am named after. The main character, played by actor Bryan Cranston, who played Heisenberg, the bad person, and Walter White, the good guy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Breaking Bad's wonderful. I watched one of those few series that I watched every single episode of. Magnificent. Thailand Bound. Talk about the lack of entertainment in the 70s with only 3 TV channels. Who remembers Sunday night? Always started religiously. Whoever told that man Harry Seacombe could sing, he was apparently he was a very good comedian. He was one of the goons, but he was very annoying. Roy Gold, loved Ian Drury. Also, he was a great singer. His songs were like stories, a real poet and artist too. Yeah, absolutely. Ian Drury he had all kinds of physical problems, didn't he? But he overcame them. You know. Mark Ollick, I have the old school Pong game on an app on my phone. I sometimes play when feeling nostalgic. Absolutely, an app on the phone. Well, I didn't have computers or nothing like that in those days. I always feel nostalgic for old TV programs. Some TV programs which some people would be embarrassed to watch nowadays. Old school Pong game on an app. Okay, I might check that one out. Thanks for that. Thailand Bound. Okay, let's see. So let me see now. We've got just more people coming into the chat. Kippo Mac. Starsky always snatched Captain Dobie's burger and Starsky in it. Starsky in it. Oh my God Almighty! I mean, that was hugely popular, wasn't it? I mean, David Soul and what's his name, Paul Michael Glazer. The words was that in real life they hated it. I think what it was with Starsky and Hutch. I think Paul Michael Glazer thought I didn't think he was a very good actor at all. Paul Michael Glazer, who played Starsky, I think he thought that he was worthy of better than, and apparently he actually hated that show. He thought it was he thought it was a pile of crap, and he wanted to get out of it, but he was contracted to it. But he didn't get on that well with David Soul, apparently, because David Soul thought the show was great and he wouldn't support him. But Paul Michael Glazer wanted to get on and do other things once he'd made his name. But apparently he thought that show was a pile of crap. I mean, I like Starsky and Hutch. I didn't love it. Cats and Good Coffee. Does any of you know the name of the sci-fi series in the 70s or 80s where every episode was a story? And one of the stories was about a family that is locked in a house wrapped in metal. Every one of the stories was a family that's locked in a house. And one of the are you talking about the Hammer House of Horror? I think I know the one that you mean. I know that episode that you mean because I've seen that. Very, very, that's bloody good. That was a good series, that. Very well made. I don't know if it was made by the same production team who made the actual Hammer House. One of the stories was about a family that is locked in a house, wrapped in metal. I remember the very, very episode. I was watching that a couple of years ago. Very weird and wonderful. It was the Hammer. I think it was the Hammer House of Horror. That's the one that it was. That's what it was. The Hammer House of Horror TV series. Paul Hoskin, don't forget the armpits. How could I possibly? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Cats and Good Coffee. Twin Peaks was a life-changing TV series. I like the first series of Twin Peaks, but what bothered me about the first series is that it didn't, it didn't end with what you were waiting for. Who actually killed Laura Palmer? And then the second series got a bit daft, didn't it? Really, very atmospheric. Mark Alec, last night I watched Hard Times with Charles Bronson, 1970. That is one of the very, 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 very best Charles Bronson movies. I watched that in the cinema when it came out, 1975 or 76, whatever, whenever it was around in our cinema. Charles Bronson, it was called The Street Fighter. It was released in Britain under the name The Street Fighter, but it was known as Hard Times in other countries. But I always felt that was the perfect part. Charles Bronson, you simply couldn't imagine another actor playing that role as the Street Fighter. It was just simply physically perfect for it. And James Coburn, very, very, very fine actor. As a good guy or bad guy or neither, he always delivered a good performance. James Coburn, absolutely wonderful. I'd love to see that movie again. Really would. Great movie. Yeah, it is confession time from Mazza. Mazza, I've had hundreds of women in my time, but one of the sexiest was a Romanian I met in a house of ill repute in the Costa del Sol. Good for you, mate. I'll drink to that. Okay. Now we're coming up to 2 hours now. Roy Cole, never liked Star Wars. Fell asleep in the cinema watching the first one. It's the thing about Star Wars. Star Wars. We'll waffle on a little teensy-weensy bit about Star Wars. It was a phenomenon, wasn't it? It was. We heard in 1977 about this movie which had become the biggest, most successful movie of all time. It broke box office records and all of that. and it was heading this way. And I seem to recall it was released in Britain and America. It was released in Britain after all the pre-publicity, ran about Christmas 1977. I think it was released, as I recall. Well, I seem to recall it had amazingly hostile reviews when it reached this country. It was, people said it was a wonderful movie, but it actually got a lot of hostile reviews because the problem is in Britain in those days, we had very, very snobbish film critics. The kind of film critics, the TV critics, if you showed them a big action movie, they'd slag it down. You'd show them some obscure French movie with a couple of people on a beach, and they'd say it's a masterpiece. British film critics were very, very snobby at that period in time, and some of them slagged Star Wars. A lot of them, very, very, very unfairly, they branded Star Wars as a children's movie. That's what they said. Even though it's marvelous special effects, wonderful entertainment, a lot of snobbish British film critics branded it as a children's movie. But it didn't seem to make any difference because it's. I like them. I don't love them, but I do respect the Star Wars movies. Great fun. Yeah, we're still going on with the chat. Tampa guy, the Twilight Zone old episodes are still classic. Burgess Meredith wants to be left alone and just read the ends up in a library and he breaks his eyeglasses. Oh, he had wonderful accent. I remember there's one episode of the old Twilight Zone where It was it. Telly Savalas, and he had hair. He had hair then. He had hair. Another excellent episode of the old Twilight Zone was, I think it was William Shatner. He was on an aeroplane, and there's a storm outside, and he pulls the curtains back in the plane. There's a bloody big gorilla on the wing of the aircraft. Do you remember that episode? And then he thinks, everyone thinks he's crazy. And then I remember a heart-stopping moment. He thinks, is it there? And he pulls the curtain back, and the bloody gorilla is right at the window. Oh my god! That was genuinely good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Yeah. Stephen Fordyce, American Gothic was excellent too. I don't think I've seen that one. Is that a TV series? I'll have to check. Sounds good. Such Atmosphere. Gary Cole, great in that series. Kid that plays Collab was amazing. I have to check that one out. And Nomad Overseas. There's an excellent Charles Bronson film called Death Hunt. Don't think it's very well known. But the thing about Bronson, he made about 3 times as many movies as Clint Eastwood during the 1970s. And yet a lot of his movies were a bit forgettable. Who remembers movies like The White Buffalo and various other things? But very, very charismatic. He had an amazing amazing, absolutely amazing this day. Okay, now listen, we've come to the end of the chat. We've just come on to about. Yeah, absolutely. Roy Gold, Yogi Bear. Roy Gold's also called Five Fingers of Death. Okay. Let's see. Who's mentioned that? Let's just mention this one for a little memento, because here's my obsessive film knowledge coming out again. Roy Gold, loved Close Encounters of the Third Kind when it came out. Okay. Now, that was Spielberg's next big movie after he made his name with Jaws, wasn't it? And it was a good movie, but it was flawed, that film. And I'd say who criticised that movie most memorably, Close Encounters. It was a great movie, but it wasn't the blockbuster that it should have been. Don't forget, that film was overtaken that year by Saturday Night Fever, a little low-budget movie, made more money than Close Encounters in that particular year. But who criticised Close Encounters? John Carpenter. John Carpenter made movies, Dark Star, Assault on Precinct 13, Halloween. And I remember a TV interview with John Carpenter, and he's a guy who knows what he likes. I met a brilliant quote from John Carpenter, absolutely brilliant quote from him. He said, there's 2 types of science fiction. There's thought-provoking science fiction, intelligent science fiction, and there is Lobster Men from Mars. And of the two of them, I prefer the second one, Lobster Men from Mars. John Carpenter made action movies which people like. He didn't like pretentious stuff, but he criticized Close Encounters. Whereas he praised Spielberg, the talents of Spielberg. He said Jaws was an amazing movie. He didn't like Close Encounters. And the reason John Carpenter, what he said about Close Encounters, he says that when you're a filmmaker, you are telling a story through the medium of film. And I just don't think he told that story right. And I think John Carpenter was correct in that, because don't forget, Spielberg, after a year or so later, withdrew the movie and edited some of those scenes because all these years later, I'm still trying to figure out how Richard Dreyfuss managed to fill his beautiful living room with a big mountain of bloody dirt. It was a bit of an unsatisfactory movie to begin with. But don't deny it. Great movie anyway, great movie. Let me see now. Let me see. I've waffled. God, there's still a lot of chat coming in. Still a lot of chat. Still a lot of chat. Mark Oller, classic Shatner. No one else sees the thing on it. That was an amazing episode there. I mean, that was an old black and God. When did that? I think it was black and white. So it probably was before Star Trek. With William Shatner. I don't remember watching that one night. That was a bloody scary exit. That bit where the gorilla's pressing his face up into the window. That is genuinely scary. Great episode. Okay, listen, guys. It's 2 hours now. I've waffled on for 2 hours. I've banged on for 2 hours. Okay, I'm going to have a late night lasagna, I think. Okay. We talked about airport queues, flight cancellations, hairy fannies, punk rock movies. I mean, Jesus Christ, what more than that can you want on a Tuesday night? Listen, guys, thanks for everything. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back on my main channel tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. The one with the bloody awful name of Edward Sween, a horrible name for the channel. But I'm going to be back at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. We're going to talk about travel related stuff. Okay, so hopefully I'll see you then. Anyway, listen, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. Cheers. Have a lovely day, a lovely evening, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow on the other side. Cheers.